Oh. Redheads.
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 So sick. So sick.
Redheads.
That's right. Welcome back to Redheads. Still the number one Liverpool-focused, West Coast-based footy podcast. Said it backwards. Makes no sense. Means the same thing. It's another episode after Liverpool. They went and did it. There was a 4-game losing streak. The crisis was on the horizon. We had not lost 5 straight since the 50s, and we didn't. We went to Frankfurt. We made hamburger of those Frankfurters. 5-1. And it proved to be a bit of a false dawn. Saturday, 3-1 loss. 3-2 loss, to Brentford. Ian, after all that, how are you feeling?
What an intro. James, I'm devastated. Like you said, false dawn, man. I was genuinely so excited after the Champions League game. And to go into the Brentford game immediately losing after 5 minutes from a long throw-in, nothing hurts worse than a set-piece goal. But yeah, I've been searching my feelings, and all I find is just deep, dark sadness.
The well is deep. The well is deep
Well,
and dark.
Oh, God, yeah.
Let me tell you exactly how dark the well is for me. We've lost
hear it.
now
Yeah.
5 matches in 6,
Mm-hmm.
which is already pretty terrible. We last won a league game in September 20th against Everton.
That was Everton, okay.
Right? And I would say that this Saturday game against Brentford is our worst performance of the season.
Easily the worst game. It's the worst game also given the context because, I feel like set pieces have been such a big thing this season. And I don't remember if it was in the build-up or afterwards, but Slot basically was saying that because Brentford are very good with the long throw, they have a few players that can launch a ball. And he basically stated that that's all we practiced in the training sessions in the lead of this game. So hearing that, being like, okay, that's all you worked on and you couldn't defend within the 5. Given long throw-ins are very hard to defend against. Very, very, very hard.
They're hard to defend against, but we made a real show of exactly how you shouldn't do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just nobody covering the back post. I mean, a tale as old as time.
Not winning
a tail as tall as Kirkes. Go ahead.
Not winning your just any balls at all, Yeah, I would say there's parts of the game that I thought we looked pretty good in. There's definitely segments where we were dominating possession. But once again, anytime the ball goes into the final third, into the opponent's box, we're just bereft of ideas. I was watching this with my wife and I kept saying, we're bereft of ideas. I kept saying that. And then she was like, what are you talking about? And it's just a bummer, dude. We just look a shadow of last year. And obviously that was last year. Many players left, many players came in. But it's just disappointing. It's such a bummer to see just any lack of fight, any lack of physicality, and it just seems like no one has any idea of what they're doing for large segments of the game.
Yeah, I don't know what the identity is really meant to be right now. But I mean, you talk about it being depressing or disappointing. I heard the comments too that Slot said about all we did the day before the match was practice defending set pieces.
Right.
And to concede on the second throw-in in the 5th minute, I mean, it was depressing for us. I can't imagine what it felt like to be on that field.
They didn't look like they looked
bereft of ideas.
Thank you, James. I was going to ask you. You said we don't look like we have an identity. At this point, I don't even know what a Liverpool goal looks like. I feel like in seasons past, exactly either, we have our fullbacks going up and down the pitch, putting crosses in. We had Mane and Salah on the wings, just breakaway goals, counterattacks. This season, I have no idea what a Liverpool goal looks like at all. Not even you can say with Arsenal, set pieces have been very kind to them. They've been very good at those. Liverpool, no clue, no idea.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about that too, I mean, the way that the fullbacks have been playing, that we've spoken about a few times, not marauding down the wing, not getting past their man on the outside. But then the 2 goals come from, first, Bradley makes the overlapping run.
Right.
Finally, right on the stroke of halftime, plays across shockingly to Kirkes, who I think, he capped off what I would say might be his worst half of football with a goal. It was, irony. at the very least. But and then the second goal was not a fullback, but it was Dom, who at that point I think had stopped playing fullback. But he
Yeah.
same thing. It was a ball that he you know on the touchline found some space, played across in. Mo actually had a really phenomenal finish, but it's two goals that look like Liverpool goals of last season that we don't set up to try to create today.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like Gakpo tried it once, and I think it went out for a throw in, and then he just never did it again. But like it's just so weird where like there are two examples of goals that we have scored, and we just do it almost never. It's just it's so frustrating, and it's like I can only like you said, I can only imagine what the players are thinking. I can only imagine what the coach is thinking. I definitely see a way out of this. But as of right now, we're gonna talk about the game tomorrow against Crystal Palace, which is a EFL Cup game.
Right?
Probably will be heavily rotated. I don't even know if I wanna win that game. I don't even know. It's weird. It's like a toss of the coin at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you want to win every game, but the reward for winning this game against Crystal Palace is the quarterfinal, which, who's it going to be? I'm not sure. City, probably. And then if you win that game, you have a two-legged semi.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, do we want more, especially with all the injuries that we have? Who left this game? I feel like someone got injured. I think Jones got injured, did he not? I don't
I
know.
I don't know where Jones is officially ending up, but yeah, I mean, he definitely had a niggle at the end of the game, and I haven't heard, and I guess we won't hear really like what the timeline is for him, or
Right,
if it's longer than, oh, I was getting a bit of cramp and I need to come off. But yeah, you're
right.
right. He did leave too.
That's what I mean, I just don't know if it's worth it at this point, like,
Oh, for the
yeah,
rotated side,
right, like,
right?
obviously, it's like a competition that we've done fairly well in, and at this point, who knows how the league is gonna go, so, like, do you actually wanna put all your chips in the domestic cups? I don't know, but it'll be interesting. I'm k like, I was excited about this game because about the Brentford game because I was like, "Great, after winning that Champions League game, our tails are up, we're gonna do really well," and then he goes back and does. I mean, given Isak left the game injured, so he kinda had to swap some players around, but no, man.
Right. Well, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the difference between the Frankfurt setup and the Brentford setup. On Wednesday, we played basically a 4-4-2, really, with
Pretty much,
Isak and
yeah.
Ekatike in a partnership up top, which we hadn't seen all year, and we really haven't seen that formation in, I mean, going on a decade.
Right.
And Verts was playing on the right, at least nominally. He did drift around. He had kind of a free role.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Salah doesn't start. And we looked good. The press was sort of back, at least closer to where it's supposed to be. We had more of a presence in midfield. Gakpo isn't really a left midfielder, but he did the job just fine. We sort of found ourselves in the situation where we don't have any wingers, despite having Salah and Gakpo. They just don't
I
play like
mean,
traditional wingers.
yeah, I'll say he had a much better game against Frankfurt than he did against Brentford, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if that
absolutely.
was a lineup situation or what, but I would just say everyone looked way better.
Right, and then we just revert right back to type against Brentford, which was so frustrating to see.
But that's what I'm saying, like, like, would he have just stuck with the 4-4-2 if Isak was not injured? If, like, Frimpong got injured, like, in the first half, and that really messes up? But he could have just played Bradley there. He could have played Salah and Ekatike 2 up top against Brentford, but we were just lacking any physicality. James, truly, like, the press is gone. The press is gone. No one won, like, literally the amount of times the ball was just in the air and we could not win a header at
Couldn't win the
all.
first header, couldn't win the second header.
No, and it was just like so, and your 2 best players are Jones and Szoboszlai in a midfield that has just kind of been wide open too. It's just I don't know. I don't know
Right.
what's
It's confounding to watch these games where our 2 best performers are the midfielders, Jones and Szoboszlai,
right,
and yet the midfield it's just such a gaping, there's absolutely no presence. As soon as the ball turns over, it's one pass and they're through a defense. I
right.
mean,
I've been seeing a lot of shouts of, like, just back 5, put Endo in the team, just go just, like, literally try to just, not lay siege, the opposite of laying siege, just, like, basically protect every.
batten down the hatches.
Thank you, James. Batten down the hatches for, like, the first 20 minutes and then just go from there. I don't know if that will ever happen.
That will never happen. Slot
No.
clearly doesn't want to see Endo anywhere near the pitch in a game that matters. That experiment sadly has ended, I would say. But I
Yeah.
think the back five could be interesting. I mean, if it was a back five or even just a really deep and sort of restricted role for someone like Gravenberch in the six. So in
Yeah.
possession, we're essentially still in a three with Gravenberch, Van Dijk, and Konate. I think that could, pay dividends a little bit. It would at least give us a little bit more stability.
Yeah, it just sucks now. We just don't have any center back rotation either. Like now that Leone is out injured, we just have Gomez. And do you want to have Gomez as if you put him in a lineup with Konate and Van Dijk? How do you what are your sub options? It's hard, man.
Yeah, we can't play a back three with three center backs right now. We just don't have the
Right.
personnel.
So that's not going to happen. But it'll be really interesting because Slot is obviously like who knows. I think there's been conversations on the internet of him,
Of course.
you know, feeling the pressure, right? Like who knows? Like they were gonna extend his contract, and now that looks like those talks are on hold. If he plays a really strong lineup tomorrow, that'll just confirm the fact that he's like, we need to stop the rot. We need to win the game. If he's like, okay, here's a fully rotated team, then he's just sticking to his convictions and just won't care about this competition. But
Yeah, that's interesting too, because I really don't know even myself what I would rather see. The rotated
yeah,
side where maybe we'll win, and if we lose, you can kind of write it off, even though that would now be 6 and 7.
yeah,
Or, if we can play full strength and lose that game. Have already lost to Palace twice in the last month.
for sure. And yeah, and they're now in Europe. They're in the Conference League, and I think they played 3 games in the last week, so they'll probably go rotated as well. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would like to win just for the confidence of the fan base and of the team. Like, yes, it's in a totally different competition, but a win is a win, you know? And who do we play next? Is it Aston Villa after this?
Yeah, we play Villa on the weekend at
They just
home.
beat City? I don't know.
They did just beat City.
I think we could use a boost.
Well, I've got a pretty good sense of how we're feeling after Saturday, but we were talking off pod,
Yeah.
pre-pod, about just how bleak is it. And so
Yeah.
now I want to ask you, we've been watching Liverpool for a long time. We're big
Yeah.
redheads. Where do
Of
you
course.
think, of course, this skid hasn't stopped, but where
And
we
it's
are
also
now,
October.
it's also October. That's right. But considering
So,
where we are now, where does this rank for you amongst the, you know, painful eras of Liverpool's past? I'm thinking of times like finishing fifth in Klopp's season, 2022. There is, of course, 2020, 2021,
yeah. I mean,
when we lost every single center back and midfielder.
I'm trying to remember when the Everton game was, when basically Virgil van Dijk did he break his leg or was it an ACL tear or something?
I
Because he
think it was
got
an ACL.
yeah. So I don't remember how early in the season that was, but when every center back kind
It
of
was
dropped,
it was early. It was
it
around
was early,
September. Yeah.
right? When every center back just drops like flies, you're kind of just like hands in the air. You're kind of like, okay, well, there's nothing we can do about this. So that one hurt. And then when I think of like the 22-23 season, when all of our midfielders just decided to just be really bad at the same time, I don't know. This sucks because it just feels like I think it hurts more because of the transfer window that I had going into the season, getting Isak, getting Wirtz, kind of being
All that
prompt
hype, all that
all
optimism.
that hype, and also that pressure too. Like, you
Yeah.
have all these other fan bases being like, "Okay, like, well, if you don't win it, you blew it." And no one like, I think winning a transfer window, quote, unquote, "doesn't mean you're going to win your respective league." That's just not how it works.
But you
I
take a league-winning side and you add so much quality to it.
but then you also get rid of a lot of players that won you that league too. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's October, so I don't wanna I think the 22-23 season was pretty bad because also, that kit was awful too. We've talked about this, James. We've
Oh,
ranked
yeah.
this kit
We've
bad,
covered it.
bad. But I mean, honestly, the more I think about it, I'm like, that 14-15 season was pretty bad after like coming in second, so close to win the title, and then you lose Raheem Sterling, you buy in Balotelli, in your front three is like him, Balotelli, and Ricky Lambert.
Ricky
That was a
Lambert.
that was pretty awful. I think right now I just don't want to get I don't want to get too ahead of myself because this is disappointing. There's just no way around it. but I also feel like there can't like once this team clicks, it will click. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, I feel that way too. It's really just a matter of time. Although I would say that based on Slop's comments and just sort of demeanor after the game,
Yeah,
mixed with, when we lost to United, that obviously sucked. We conceded in the first minute. That was brutal. But we sort of on balance should have won that
we
game.
should have won
Hit the
that game
post
for
3
sure.
times.
Yeah,
And I would say the same thing about the losses that, predated
yeah.
everything up to Brentford.
I mean, you could technically like it's all a game of percentages, right? And I feel like with the Brentford game, you could say the same thing. Like you could have said in the United game, Gakpo should have had a hat trick. Well, in this game, Wirtz should have had his first Premier League goal. He should have scored that chance.
Yeah.
And you could also argue that we should have had a penalty and they shouldn't have had a penalty. So I feel like it's all these like fine margins. Like if one thing goes our way, maybe the game changes. But that doesn't take away the fact that we just looked so sloppy in every aspect of that game. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and so you were talking about, it was pretty dark with Brendan, how bad it was in 21-22, or sorry, 2021. But I also don't want to get carried away, but you sort of hit the nail on the head for me when every center back's dropping like flies, like you said, you just sort of
Yeah.
raise your hands. There's nothing you could do. Right now, not enough really has gone wrong
Right.
to excuse how poorly things are going.
It's true. We don't have an if we don't have an injury crisis. I almost said energy crisis. We're getting there, James.
We do have an energy crisis.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, it's hot.
And like when things like the things that are kind of eating away at me in terms of this season are it just seems like Slot doesn't have a handle on the team or like he doesn't have any idea. Like for instance, the fact that he keeps playing Dominic Szoboszlai at right back really, really bothers me. And the fact that he'll do that and then throw on like 6 attackers when we're trying to go hell for leather at the end of the game, trying to like get a point. It just basically that screams like no confidence in his team. You know what I mean? Like the fact that
Right,
he'll
it's
just
just truly flipping a coin. Maybe we'll
oh
score.
yeah. Like putting Engamoa on at the end of the game or putting Gomez on for Wirtz. And I know that was probably to put Szoboszlai back in the midfield, but I'm just like, do you know the player like your first like do you even know what you're trying to do? Like it just it feels like the team on the field has no idea what's happening at
Yeah,
those
I mean,
moments.
I think that he more or less admitted that. Another thing he said in his post game was, teams have figured out how to play against us, and I need to find a solution to it, and I haven't.
I
You know,
know. I
which
feel like I
is
sent you that quote and I just said, "What the fuck is this?" And you wrote back a very sensible answer, and I was like, "Okay, James, that's not what I need right now. I need fire and fury."
I'm your rock. I know that,
I know you are. You
and
are.
you're my fire. That's exactly right. Yeah, it doesn't inspire confidence. I do still
No.
think it's gonna come good given time. It's just approaching the point where you're wondering, does Slot think it's gonna come good?
How do you feel about him right now?
That's a complicated question.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nowhere near a Slot out
Right.
situation. I really like it to be short about it. I don't think he's shown over these past 5 games or 6 games. I certainly haven't seen enough to just erase the fact that he came in and won the league in his first season.
Yeah. I exactly. And people keep saying that like the basically get Slot out of here, bring back Klopp. And when I think of like the what was last year's 24-25. So the 23-24 season,
Right.
essentially the same team that Slot had. Klopp could not win the league with that team. Slot does it in his first season. So obviously there is he's a quality coach. Like he's obviously very, very talented. And this is his first crisis. This is the first time he's dealt with this much pressure. Because the season before, we kind of walked the league
Yeah,
in
it was
some
a bit of a
sense.
cakewalk.
Kind of a cakewalk. I mean, we lose a very cagey tie against PSG. We have a pretty horrible League Cup final against Newcastle.
Yeah.
But other than that, like it was pretty smooth sailing.
Right, he basically had one bad week last season.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the first time where, he's coming up with there seems to be like a lot of baggage, going into the summer. It's hard to take away everything that happened in the summer going into this year and not thinking that's had some effect on the team. You know what I mean? Because it's like those are just the like I'm talking about the draw to death. I
Right.
like that just doesn't that can't just be swept under the rug. And I know a lot of people are like not wanting to use that as an excuse, and I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just using it as the fact that that literally happened to these people. And it wasn't like he was a bench player. He was fully involved in the team. He was beloved by all these players. Um, so I can't not think that that has had some effect on just like the frame of mind with this whole team, because it just seems like everyone it just seems uh just so down in the dumps. And I know we've won this first 7 games, like that was amazing. But I also part of me feels like, was that just like adrenaline or something? You know what I mean? Like what
Yeah.
was that? Like
Yeah. And it
I
was just
can't
sort
put
of the momentum built itself, late
right,
winner after late winner.
right,
And, back then, a month ago, we were talking about, the cracks were there. They were
yeah,
obvious, but
yeah,
the assumption was that given time, we would be smoothing the cracks over, not that they would be widening, right? And
yeah,
obviously, we've really gone the opposite direction. The other thing that I'm really, really, excuse me, the other thing that I'm concerned about with Slot a little bit is that, the summer window, we signed Isak, we signed Ekatike, we
yeah,
signed Verts. So we spent a lot of money on players that play completely differently to the way that we
right,
played under Slot's first season and with Klopp. We've never played
right,
with a true nine. We've always had the Firmino false nine. Even when it's Jota, it's basically that. The exception is Darwin, and Darwin was a massive flop ultimately.
right.
And then Verts is a 10. He's not pacey, he's not, physically imposing, and he doesn't play in the wing, he doesn't play as an 8. Although I think that that's ultimately going to be our way home. It's just to reincorporate him into a midfield 3. But my point is, why? Why did we? What are we changing and why?
Well, I was listening to a podcast and they're basically saying that the reason they bought Wirtz was for the previous season. Basically, he was the key to unlock all these low block teams. And now and then in this in this previous transfer window, all these teams basically bought really big guys, just basically like 6 foot plus
A couple of
big
big dogs.
dudes, big dogs. And now everyone has like height and physicality, and then we're like, oh shit, we bought like a what, like he's like 5'11", like 5'10" or something, just a small 10, which like you said,
Right.
we've never played with before. And we just got smaller too. We got Frimpong, who's
Across the
five
board,
six,
yeah.
Kirk
Frimpong's
has
little, Kirkus is little,
little.
Rio's little. I mean, we didn't sign him, but we've essentially swapped Diaz for Rio.
Right. So yeah, don't understand this transfer window. Don't get me wrong, I was very excited about it.
Yeah.
I still have utmost faith in these players.
But it really comes back to that identity crisis. That
Right.
we have half a team that plays 4-3-3, murder, gegenpress, and false nine, and we have half a team that plays in like this more standard 4-2-3-1 with the conventional nine. Um, and it's two puzzle pieces that just do not fit together right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just like for us to stick with a game plan and just like work through it and just kind of yeah, just like kind of pick an identity, like
Yeah,
okay, like this is what we're gonna do for the rest of the year, and then just see how it goes. Like I just can't the whole like shuffling of the car with Sabaz like going back into right back, then going back into midfield. It's confusing to the players too. Like it has to
right.
be. Like
I'm
it's
really
just
impressed with how well Sabazza has been able to maintain his
he's
performances, given that he's played
man,
6, 8, whatever the number is for fullback,
right.
10, wing.
He's been our best player by far, I
Oh
think,
yeah,
this season.
stand
Like
out this
he's
season.
absolutely. Um, it'll be interesting once McAllister gets back into some semblance of form that he had last year, and then with Gravenberch when he's back from injury to see. But like we had those players at the beginning of the year, and it still kind of looked a little wonky. So I don't know if that's going to be a fix.
Right, and it's so frustrating too, talking about fitness now.
Yeah.
We spent 6 weeks saying Isak didn't have a preseason, just give him time, it'll come good. And now he's pulled his groin,
Right.
so that timetable is just out the window again. I mean, I not getting carried away. Hey, not getting
Yeah.
carried away.
No,
But I
you're
just
cool.
thinking about what it was like waiting for Daniel Sturridge to come back, and he would
Yeah.
come back and score, look phenomenal, and then he would be out for another 3 months.
Yeah. I mean, as a part of me full all of me. I was very
Yeah.
excited when Isak came, and then I was like fully behind him. Like, yeah, dude, if you want to
Take your time.
protest,
Hey, take
yeah,
your time.
if you want to protest and not train for a whole summer, and then we get you, that's great. But now I'm like, oh god, dude, like you couldn't
Take
have
a
just,
jog.
yeah, you couldn't have done
Yeah.
anything. I don't know. Yeah, because now we're feeling it, man. We're feeling the effects of him. Like even though Slot, I feel like was the last press conference when he's like, okay, now you can judge him, and I'm like, okay, great, now he's injured,
Great. And now he's yep. Yeah.
so cool.
Judgment passed.
Yeah,
He said, "Now you can judge him." Then he had a bad game, and then he
and then
got
he had
hurt.
a bad game. That's right.
uh, well, so you talked about sort of choosing an identity, whatever that's going to be, and sticking with it, and sort of that's our way home. But I'm curious, to your mind, we got a couple of real, football intrepid enthusiasts.
Oh
What is
yeah.
the identity that we should
Uh,
be going with? I mean, is it?
well,
Do we need to double down on this press? Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, well, we can't. It can't be. I just don't know if it can be like a front three anymore. Because we don't have like Salah's no longer fit enough to be the pace that we need on the wing. I don't think anymore.
I think
Like
that's right.
he can't really beat a man. The counterattacks, you can like seriously see him when a ball goes out to him. It does not look as
He's
fast as he
chugging.
does on the ball. Yeah, Gakpo has never been that fast. So he
Gakpo,
just
to my mind, can't receive the ball on the run. He has to be stopped.
yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. And then so I think, and look, it was just a little. It was what was it 45 minutes against Frankfurt where we had a 4-4-2 essentially. I thought that looked really good. The pressing was on. We harried the hell out of Frankfurt, and maybe that's what we need. Maybe we just need to be like press, just press, just press, and then maybe maybe we'll like drop all of our lines a little bit further back, but just press the opposing players. Maybe I don't know. Like that's not they seeing the amount of space that we give the other team is just amazing. It's just like I just
Right.
want
It's
us to
like
be more.
the players are in the position to press, but then they don't
Yeah,
press. And so the reality is there's just a huge gaping hole right in the center of midfield that it takes one pass to break down. I agree. I mean, I think the press would be the way home, but the thing is, Salah isn't really that player. I don't think
right.
Isak is that player, although I can't say for
And
sure.
we don't. Well,
And
we don't really
Gakpo
have
really isn't that player.
right. And I would say besides maybe Shabazz our midfielders are not that like
Just
physical.
dynamic.
Yeah, like if we commit too many men, we can get bypassed pretty quick.
Nobody's
I feel
recovering.
like, yeah,
Right.
like there's no longer a Fabinho that's basically that holding midfielder that kind of can block out a pass or just
I,
position himself.
I honestly think if you could add one player from our past, 10 years, I mean, of course, if you could add 2017 most solid, things change. But if you put a Fabinho, that like lighthouse six type player
Yeah,
into this team, and you unlock Verts that way, you free Sabazlai, Gravenberg playing a little bit higher, or in the back three if we wanted to go that way. Um, I think it would just really solve a lot of problems. The
yeah.
Zubamendi deal, it hurts a little bit more with each passing week. Well, with all that optimism that we've just sprinkled across, jeez, I want to know what you're thinking. Where does this season go? I mean, I don't think anyone is thinking the
Yeah.
titles is possible. So what are the expectations now?
I haven't looked at I refuse to look at the table now, so I actually don't know where we're at, and I don't want you to tell me if you do know. We're probably I don't know. I don't want to say the title's over because dude, Arsenal, they look very tight at the back. They're only scoring these set piece chances. So I think if they can get got, if they're I think they're like set in 17th their sets of open play goals, which is very very low. So I just don't want to give up on the title yet. I think that if we can click and we click, then I think there's opportunity to make up all this lost ground, which is a lot. Again, 4 league games that we've lost. Horrible. We look really good as a Champions League team. I think the reason like Wirtz looked so like revitalized in that Frankfurt game. So I think there is an opportunity for us to maybe play for the Champions League. Maybe, possibly. I think we have the team to do that just because the year. I feel like teams in Europe are a little less physical, right? Um,
A little less direct too.
for sure. I don't know. Again, like I said before, like I wouldn't mind going on a domestic cup run if that's our. And I know some people don't like the EFL Cup because the structure is just outrageous. Like, why do you have a two-legged semifinal? But we just need something to play for. I mean, fuck, man, we're Liverpool. Like, we can't just
Right.
like we can't just you can't have the summer and go empty-handed. And I might eat my words because that could well and truly happen. But like that can't that can't be the sentiment of the season. Like Salah and Van Dijk both signed extensions in order to win more trophies. We have to
To
win
win right
something this
now.
year.
To win right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on the League Cup. I mean, I might take the FA Cup if I was offered either.
For sure. I like
But
that cup more.
honestly, I'm really glad that you said you're not quite ready to concede the title right now because
It's October.
that's what I needed to hear.
It's October.
It's 7 points, right? It's 7 points right now.
James, I told you not to tell me.
I didn't tell you where we are on the table.
That's true. Good point. 7 points. I mean,
what I mean is a week from now, it could be 1 point. Probably won't be, but
how's that possible?
I mean, if we win 2 games and Arsenal lose 2 games, that's a
There you
6-point swing right
Oh,
there.
I love it. You are good at math.
I'm
Yeah.
always
So,
thinking, always counting.
I mean, that just means we can't lose any more games for the rest of the season. Basically, any hope in retaining the title. Also, that's so annoying. The fact that 1920 we win the title and then we just completely capitulate and the title defense is over. And now it's looking like that again this year. And it's so frustrating. Can we just be more at least consistent? I guess we are. We're consistent. We're consistent in not doing that. Yeah.
That was a monkey's paw situation right there.
Yeah, I guess so. I have a question for you, James.
Hit me.
I was thinking about this in the car ride home. We were recording this Game 4 of the World Series. You are a Dodgers fan.
Absolutely.
You're also a Liverpool fan. Both teams have the potential to going back-to-back titles. If you could pick one, monkey paw situation, and I know this is a Liverpool podcast, I won't be offended. If you could give back-to-back titles to one of those teams, who would it be?
Look, that's a tough question because I've been sitting through. I'm in the devastation right now for Liverpool. We're already struggling, to put it mildly.
Right.
To lose, the Dodgers are in the World Series today, so losing that would be kind of devastating. But on the other side of that, the miraculous run that it would take for us to win the title, in little old England, would be kind of incredible. I also think that England, the Premier League is maybe a little bit more competitive.
The Major League Baseball? Yeah, you could say that.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is like the gulf between the Dodgers and the rest of the Major League. Well, not the rest, but like the top sort of, well, I guess as I'm describing it, it's kind of exactly the same. Because it's like the top 5 or 6 teams are just so much better than the other. 16, England, and 28 in North America. Anyway, so like
you're dancing around your answer, James.
Well, I'm thinking about it because this is a tough question. And if I am being totally honest, back-to-back titles, I'm going Liverpool. If I could choose right now, Liverpool, I think that would be a lot more remarkable.
Look, I got to be honest. The Dodgers are in the hunt every single year.
That's kind of exactly where my head's at. Yeah.
And I think for me, how romantic would it be? 7-point swing. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
The 7-point swing. The 100 million pound man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you want out of this? Like, because we're playing Crystal Palace. It's at home, which is nice. It'll be at Anfield. It is a League Cup game. The squad, again, depending on what Slot does, I'm very interested to see is if he goes heavily rotated, then kind of whatever. Who cares about the result of the game? It's going to be meaningless, especially if Crystal Palace goes strong. But if we do put out a pretty competitive lineup, like, okay, basically what I'm trying to ask, I think what we've already talked about before is I would like to win this game just due to the fact that we've lost too many games recently, and now we need to win a game. We need to win a game, especially before this Aston Villa match, which I'm very nervous about. But some people would say that winning this game just adds too much too much stress on your lineup, like later down the like what is it? Is the next game in February or is it January? I don't know.
It's a great question.
Who
I
cares?
don't know when the next round of the League Cup will be.
But basically, you might be out. You might be missing Salah, right? You might be missing. Maybe more injuries come up, but you can also throw those games later then, if that's the case.
Are you
You
trying to
put
ask me if I want to win tomorrow?
yes, basically.
Percent win,
Okay.
win. But I do want to see a rotated side, but there's still players that I want to see from the first team. I want McAllister to play for sure.
He has to play.
I
He has to.
think Wirtz should play.
Yes.
I would probably play. Well, Chiesa for sure. He doesn't really
Yeah.
count, I guess. The question mark for me is who play. I mean, Gomez starts. Who plays next to him? Do you go Van
Probably
Dijk?
Van Dijk, right? It'll probably be
I
Van
would
Dijk.
guess Van Dijk, but I also wouldn't hate it if Van Dijk gets the week off.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do the sort of throw the kids out there rotation, I'd be
Yeah.
okay if that happens at center back. If it's Gomez, and I'm not even sure who from the youth squad would get called
Yeah.
up.
Genuinely, I have no idea who. Like, I guess you could potentially put Endo back there. That scares the living daylights out of me.
Honestly, I would be let's play Endo. Why not?
But he could play there. And then you're probably going to put Robertson at left back.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know who you'd play at right back.
I don't either because I think you got to protect Bradley now that
I do
Frimpong's
too.
down.
And you could potentially put Gomez at right back and then a different.
You could put Gomez at right back and then Endo and a kid at center back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You said that we don't really have an injury crisis, and that's mostly true. But at the same time,
I know, I might be eating my words.
Frimpong's out. Obviously, Leone is out for the season. Allison's
that
out.
One hurts, man. That one hurts.
Gravenberch is out. Jones just got. I don't know if he's out or not, but he just got hurt. Of course, Isak's out. So all of a sudden it is a little bit. The squad's fraying at the edges.
Yeah. Keeper.
Who's the third choice? Woodman?
Yeah, Woodman. Freddie Woodman.
Throw him in there. I mean, that's
You
what
think
we've
so?
always done in the League Cup. Yeah, I think so. I also thought, didn't he play a half in the
Friendly, probably.
Community Shield?
Oh, I don't know. Did he?
Maybe I'm just thinking of preseason. But either way, I remember seeing him a bit and thought that he looked good, honestly. Mamardashvili, we haven't really covered him.
How do you feel about him right now?
Not awesome.
Yeah.
Not awesome.
The
ahead.
counterattack goal that Brentford had.
When he dove out of the way?
Just when he was backtracking, I was just like, what's happening? What's going on right now?
No matter who replaces Alisson when the time officially comes for Alisson to, set sail.
Yeah.
Alisson's the best one-on-one keeper in the world. It's going to be a downgrade no matter what, but it also doesn't look like Mamardashvili is the second best one-on-one keeper in the world.
It also doesn't help that he's a left-footed keeper and everyone passes to his right foot, so he immediately has to switch it over.
Right.
It's just,
he also doesn't play to his size. He's not coming for crosses. He's not really getting punches, and he had 6'5".
He had that one good save against Damsgaard. That was a very good diving.
He might just be a good shot stopper. Just
but,
like a traditional keeper. He certainly isn't great with his feet.
I mean, I think we should just play him. Just keep playing him until Alisson comes back, essentially.
Fair enough. I mean, if that's what they end up doing, I'm fine with that too. But if they, the League Cup traditionally, that's when Mamardashvili would be playing. And that's when, Kelleher played. If you want to put your second choice keeper for the League Cup, do it.
Yeah. There's also, this is crazy. I've heard that Bajcetic could be in contention for this game too.
Wow. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I was going to say, it's been a few years. I miss that. Man, when he came in for the 22-23 season to kind of solidify that midfield, I loved him. And then...
Yeah, I thought that he was our number 6 for the next decade. Yeah, I did too. I mean, I guess it's just injuries that really took its toll on him.
That's what it seems like, but it'd be cool to see him and see how he does.
He could also play center back. I'm pretty sure he came through the academy as a center back before getting moved into the midfield.
I think you're right. Okay, well, James and I say that we should win this game, and I think Liverpool should just win it and just make us happy.
I think that my opinion should be the number one concern for someone like Arne Slot. I mean,
right? Yes,
I've got a podcast, for God's sake.
Yeah, come on, man.
Well, so like you've been mentioning, Palace tomorrow. That's at 12:45. I guess daylight savings hit England before it hits the good old States.
They get it first.
Yeah.
That's Ridiculous.
Uh, but let's quickly cover the run of fixtures that we have before this international break because they're a doozy.
Oh god.
Uh, we've got Palace at home. Like I said, we've lost to Palace twice in the last month. Not great. Then we've got Villa on Saturday. They just beat City. That should be a fun game. That's at home, if I didn't mention that. Then
That's a
we've got
one
Madrid on
that
Tuesday.
that Villa game was a 1 p.m. kickoff here.
Right,
So
that's
that
the
means
daylight savings
so is that 9 p.m. there?
it's still 8.
Oh, duh. You kept saying daylight savings, and it kept going right over my head.
Right, right. It's confusing. To be honest, time zones are confusing. I mean, I deal with them at work all day, and
Right.
it's a pain in the butt. Right, but so Villa Saturday, and then Madrid Tuesday. Thankfully, that's at home too. That's 3 home games in a row,
It
following
is
5 away games. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it is very funny that all of our home games are very difficult after we've been like, "Can we get a home
Praying
game,
for a home
please?
game. They're like,
Give
hey,
us a home game."
careful what you wish for.
I know.
Right, so Madrid Tuesday, and then City away Sunday to cap this off before going into the break. So Palace, Villa, Madrid, City. How many wins?
Oh god, dude. I think we'll beat Aston Villa.
So 1.
And the Real Madrid game is hard because I actually like our chances against them just because I think it'll be more of a football game, less of like a
Right.
physical
So
matchup.
the fact that these are tough fixtures against good teams, I think means we have a better chance to play well
Yeah,
in them.
I think so too. The City game, I didn't watch the Aston Villa game, so I have no idea what how they looked at all. Fuck it, dude. 3 wins.
3 wins. Which one aren't we winning?
Sorry, 4 wins.
I was gonna say 3 wins. I think.
Who do you think we'll lose to?
Well, I don't think we're gonna lose. I think we'll draw away at City.
Okay. I would take a loss at Madrid. I think the Champions League table, like, right now, it's just you can lose another game and not be out of the running of making it to the later stages.
Right. It's not do or die, especially
Right.
because we won the away game against Frankfurt. That really helps.
But it depends. Like, I don't think Liverpool are seeing the league as being done. I think all of the fans are. Um, but I think they're going to probably pinpoint the league games as like a priority. I think.
I think you're right. I think they're not gonna rotate anybody to play Madrid in the Champions League.
No,
It'll
this
still
is
be
not
first team.
the 14-15 Champions League where Rodgers, what did he do? He rotated the entire squad
It was basically a
playing
League Cup side.
yes, to play Real Madrid.
And then Markovic, if you remember, got the softest red card that I've ever seen when, well, we won't go down that road, but
I don't want to talk about it.
it was a loss. I'm saying 3. That might sound insane given that we've won 1 and 6 and lost 5.
Yeah,
I could definitely see us basically Madrid and City, both great teams. Those
yeah,
games are kind of always just a coin flip, especially City being away.
right.
I don't know. Did we win there last year?
Away?
Yeah. Now I'm blanking.
Truly couldn't tell
I know
you.
we won at home.
You do you ever like hear someone recall a game perfectly and remembering everything that happened in a game like 3 years ago and you're like, "How'd you do that?"
Yes, that happens to me all the time, and
Okay.
I couldn't tell you if Mo was still on the team 3 years ago.
Right. And to answer your question, we did win in February. We won 2-0. Salah and Szoboszlai.
Okay, so there you go. Well, we won last year, but before that, we hadn't won since 2018.
Right.
Basically, it's tough to go away to these big sides and win.
It's true.
Certainly, I would. If you offer me a draw at City right now, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think so too. And the bummer, I just looked. Arsenal play Burnley when we play Aston Villa. That's away, but they'll still be actually. Who knows? I mean, if they're 17th in open play and they need a set piece, maybe Burnley will just hunker down, stay packed, get a
If
draw out of
somebody's
that.
gonna do it, I mean, Burnley's the team,
And then they
or
play high,
Brentford.
right?
God
And then they
forbid.
play high flying Sunderland when we play
Sunderland,
City.
I think they're in the
They
top
look
4.
good. They look good.
They
They
look
look
good.
really, really fun. And that's home for Sunderland. So that'll be an interesting game. Again, I expect nothing but 2 Arsenal victories. So, but we just need to keep pace. At this point, we need to keep pace and try to try to clean up 7 points, man. That's messy. That's messy. How do we get ourselves into this, James?
Well, by losing a lot.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was the losses
I
that
knew
did it.
that.
Yeah.
I knew that. How have we not drawn a game yet?
Honestly, that's a great question considering the games have been tied in stoppage time 5
Yeah.
times.
Yes, man. We could have probably been like 4 points behind if one of those 2 of those stoppage time goals don't go in. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough of that. Enough of that.
What if, you know? What if?
Yeah.
Win tomorrow? Problem solved.
I think it would definitely help, is what I'm saying.
Hey,
And what
I'm
you're
with you
saying.
there. That's what I'm saying. Winning helps.
I mean, how could it not at this point? I mean, hey, your Dodgers figured out last night. Winning helps.
Hey, they took their time, but they did get it done in the end. You know, as a Liverpool fan, I am a big fan of a late winner, and that's what we got.
Yes, absolutely. The trend continues if it's just not the same team.
You know, for those of you who don't care about baseball, you know, first of all, grow up.
Yeah,
Second of all, a typical baseball game is 9 innings. That one went 18, so it was literally the length of 2
almost
games.
2 games, yeah.
It was nearly 7 hours, and they Dodgers got it done in the end.
The
I'm a
Dodgers
redhead with a
dodged
bit
a
of a blue
bullet.
heart.
That's right, Blue Lives
Don't
Matter.
tell Merseyside.
Oh, good
Blue
point.
lives matter. Well,
Alright,
what more could we possibly say? Stop losing, start winning. It's that simple. Start scoring. Stop conceding.
yeah.
Pass to a teammate, don't pass it to an opponent.
These are like the fundamentals,
Football's a simple game.
right? Yeah, 90 minutes.
Kids, it's been less depressing than I expected it to be, but that's still a little depressing. So
Yeah,
with that, hey, like us on Instagram, follow us on Spotify,
yes.
watch some YouTube videos. We're on YouTube now at
Oh,
Redheads
yes, we are.
Podcast. Ian, what else do you want to say?
Hey, I co-sign everything James just said. Follow, like, subscribe. Hit us with a review. Yeah, James, look, I always get depressed after a Liverpool loss, but that frown turns upside down every time I talk to you. So I'm grateful for these moments.
I look forward to this podcast more than life.
Wow. All right. Peace out. Liverpool, win your games. Bye.
Bye.